Hello adventurers and welcome to Pharaoh Code. Get ready, we're heading out on an expedition into the heart of mystery. Our destination, the desert. Imagine an ocean of sand, dunes stretching endlessly, the scorching sun beating down, and a silence so vast it's almost tangible. A hostile yet majestic landscape filled with secrets, forgotten civilizations, strange creatures, and buried treasures. The desert is a giant history book written in sand and stone, waiting to be decoded. Follow me, the Chinchorro Mummies, a journey through time before the pharaohs. When we think of mummies, we instantly think of Egypt, don't we? The pyramids, pharaohs, Tutankhamun and his golden mask. But did you know that mummification existed long before the Egyptians? Imagine the Atacama Desert in Chile, a barren, almost lunar landscape. There the Chinchorro mummies were discovered, the oldest mummies ever intentionally created by humans. We're talking about 5,500 BCE, long before the pharaohs. Picture this. Over 7,000 years ago, people removed internal organs and replaced body parts with reeds, clay and sticks. Then they wrapped the corpses in layers of clay and other materials. A meticulous, fascinating and somewhat terrifying process, don't you think? The oldest Chinchorro mummy dates back to 7,200 BCE, a body preserved for more than 9,000 years. Truly incredible. But why were the dead mummified? What was the purpose of these rituals? It remains a mystery to this day. The forgotten forts of the Sahara, the Garamantes, masters of water. Now we head to the Sahara, the largest hot desert in the world, an ocean of sand that hides many secrets. In 2010, satellites revealed more than 100 forts buried beneath the dunes, fortresses built by the Garamantes, a mysterious people who lived in what is now Libya. The Garamantes were truly ingenious. Imagine an underground network of canals transporting water from reservoirs to their fields. They were farming in the middle of the desert, an astonishing achievement. But one day the water ran dry. Villages were abandoned, swallowed by sand and forgotten, until modern technology brought them back to light. Gobero, the Cemetery of Giants. We remain in the Sahara, but travel further back in time, to Gobero, in Niger. Picture the paleontologist Paul Sereno on a dinosaur hunt, stumbling instead upon a massive cemetery. Gobero is one of the largest burial sites of the Stone Age, a strange and fascinating place with a hint of eeriness. Imagine skeletons, pottery, tools, the remains of two distinct cultures who lived here at different times. The first were the Kiphians, tall hunter-gatherers who lived between 10,000 and 8,000 years ago. Back then the Sahara wasn't a desert. It was a green savanna full of animals. The Kiphians were giants over 2 meters tall. Spears were found near their graves, along with large animal bones. Then the climate changed, the desert returned. The Kiphians disappeared. Thousands of years later the rains came back, and another group settled, the Tenarians. Smaller than the Kiphians, they were herders and hunters. Two peoples, two lifestyles, two destinies, intertwined with this strange and remarkable place. Adding to the mystery, some skeletons were found in odd positions. One man with his head in a pot, others arranged on turtle shells. Strange funerary rituals we still don't understand. The Utah Monolith, a modern mystery in the United States. Leaving the Sahara behind, we travel to Utah, USA. In November 2020, a helicopter pilot flying over a remote canyon saw something unexpected. A metallic monolith, planted in the ground, 3 meters tall, with 3 smooth sides. It looked like something from another world. Biologist Brett Hutchings on board the helicopter recalls seeing it and yelling, "Get down! Get down! Turn around!" As they approached, the monolith bore a striking resemblance to the one in the movie 2001, A Space Odyssey. Authorities released a photo but kept the exact location secret, fearing a flood of curious visitors. But, as we all know, the internet is full of amateur detectives. Within hours, a Reddit user located the site using Google Earth and discovered the monolith had been installed sometime between 2015 and 2016. But who placed it there, and why? Was it an art installation, a prank, a message from extraterrestrials? The mystery deepened when just a few days later the monolith vanished, just as mysteriously as it had appeared. All that remained was a small metal pyramid, a mystery within a mystery. The secret room in the Valley of the Kings, back to Egypt, specifically the Valley of the Kings. In 2005, beneath workers' huts, archaeologists discovered a secret chamber untouched for more than 3,000 years. Picture a dark, damp room thick with history. Inside were 28 large jars and a coffin, all sealed, but there were no mummies. The jars and the coffin were filled with strange items, shards of pottery, stones, cloth, wood and natron, the substance used in mummification. One coffin even contained what looked like an ancient Egyptian nesting doll. So, what was the purpose of this room? A decoy tomb meant to fool thieves? The Valley of the Kings has long been a target for tomb raiders, but if it was a trap, why wasn't it more convincing? No royal inscriptions, no jewellery, no chests. Someone went to great lengths to create a fake tomb, but forgot to make it believable. Archaeologists believe it could have been a mummification workshop, or the remains of a plundered tomb, a mystery still waiting to be solved. The Bom Jesus Shipwreck, lost in the Namib Desert. Now imagine a shipwreck, but not just anywhere, in the heart of the desert. This is the strange story of the Bom Jesus, a Portuguese ship from the early 16th century. At the time, the Portuguese Empire was at the peak of its expansion. Bom Jesus was carrying precious cargo spices, ivory, gold. It left Lisbon and sailed around Africa, bound for India, but never made it. Caught in a violent storm off the coast of Namibia, the ship ran aground near the shoreline and was swallowed by the desert sands. Imagine waves crashing against the shore, fierce winds howling, and sailors struggling against the wild elements. The ship shatters and its cargo is scattered. Centuries later, in 2008, a diamond miner discovers copper ingots and ivory, the remains of the Bom Jesus. Archaeologists rush to the site and uncover a treasure, over 2,000 pieces of pure gold and tons of copper. But there's no trace of the sailors. Did they survive? Were they swallowed by the sea? Another mystery. Timgad, Rome in the desert. Let's go back in time again to the Roman Empire. Timgad in Algeria was a Roman city founded by Emperor Trajan in the heart of the desert. A Roman city appears before your eyes with paved streets, houses, shops, a triumphal arch, a forum, public baths, a theatre, and even a temple of Jupiter nearly the size of the Pantheon in Rome. Timgad was a major trading centre, a true oasis of civilization in the middle of the desert. The forum was bustling, merchants shouting, traders negotiating passionately under the watchful eyes of passers-by, and performances lighting up the theatre. But in the 5th century, the city was sacked and later reborn as a Christian centre. Then in the 7th century, it was plundered again. Gradually, the desert reclaimed what was once its own. Timgad was buried beneath the sands, preserved for centuries until it was rediscovered in 1881. Today, we can still admire its majestic ruins and even read ancient inscriptions. One of the most fascinating discoveries is a carving on the central forum wall. Hunt, bathe, play, laugh, this is life, a philosophy that transcends time. Kolmanskop, ghost town of diamonds. Now back to Namibia, to Kolmanskop. No, it's not a mirage, it's a ghost town. In 1908, a humble railway worker named Zacharias Lewala stumbled upon something incredible glinting in the sand. News spread like wildfire, and soon German miners flooded in. Kolmanskop was built, a German-style village in the middle of the desert. Modern houses, a hospital, a ballroom, a school, everything you'd expect in a thriving town. It even had the first X-ray station in the southern hemisphere. Kolmanskop was a booming town, a symbol of the diamond rush. But in the 1920s, diamonds became scarce, and a richer diamond field was discovered farther south. Residents abandoned Kolmanskop, and the desert began to reclaim it. Imagine houses half buried in sand, rooms filled with dunes, a surreal, haunting and breathtaking scene, a ghost town, a silent witness to a forgotten past. The desert, a place of contrasts, fierce and beautiful, empty yet full of secrets, a journey through time and the unknown. Which mystery fascinated you the most? Share your thoughts, theories and dreams of adventure in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to Pharaoh Code for more extraordinary explorations. See you soon!